2022, singer, rapper Tory Lanez convicted of shooting performer Megan Thee Stallion after a party at the Hollywood Hills home of Kylie Jenner. Here's the story. They're at the party. After the party, they get into an argument. Lanez tells Megan Thee Stallion, dance, and shoots at her feet like a cowboy movie, hits her. Proof? Testimony of Megan Thee Stallion, her friend Kelsey Harris, and DNA evidence on the weapon that convinced jurors to convict. Pretty simple, right? Maybe not. Turns out that DNA, only a 0.01% chance that the DNA is from Lanez.
Yo, the Tory Lanez case just hit another level. We're not even talking about the original shooting drama anymore. We're talking presidential pardons, secret convos behind the scenes, and rumors that got folks pointing fingers at Megan, Jay-Z, and the whole Rock Nation machine. And get this, some serious names are backing Tory now. Not just fans, we got celebrities, lawyers, politicians, even Drake slid in on the low. And when Drake moves quiet like that, yeah, it's going viral for a reason. It's like the whole thing is flipping. Like people are finally asking, did Tory really do it? Or was this whole case built on shaky ground from the jump? And now with people pushing for a full-on pardon, folks behind the scenes are starting to panic. But don't get it twisted. This ain't just about clearing Tory's name. If this pardon goes through, it could mess up some powerful people's plans, and we're talking big names that do not want to lose control of this story. So let's run it back and break down exactly how things got so wild and why Jay-Z and Megan might be sweating just a little right now.
Why you are advocating for Tory Lanez?
I'm advocating for Tory Lanez because the evidence shows that he's innocent and he deserves to be pardoned by Governor Gavin Newsom. You know, he's 100% exonerated from the gun, and for that alone, he should be home with his family.
All right, let's start with how this whole thing started shifting. After the verdict, Tory's fans were loud, but then Amber Rose came in heavy. She straight up said she thinks Tory didn't do it, and even said he called her from prison. According to Amber, that whole "I'm sorry" text, it wasn't about no shooting. It was about some messy personal stuff, and people took it the wrong way. Then Drake, Mr. I don't speak unless it's calculated, posted a story with the petition to get Tory pardoned. That little post blew up. Petition starts trending. Media outlets pick it up, fans go crazy. That's all it took, and it didn't stop there. People start noticing little moves. Kim Kardashian bumping Tory's music. ASAP Rocky still following Tory, but not Megan. Justin Bieber, he unfollows Megan, but stays locked in with Tory. It's like folks in the industry are quietly picking sides. Now some say, yo, that ain't proof. But in celeb land, those small moves speak volumes. When you unfollow someone publicly, that's basically throwing shade with a capital S. This wasn't just fans rallying. It was industry folks showing that maybe, just maybe, they don't buy Megan's version of the story either. And that was just the start. Because next, the politicians came through and things got messy.
Representative APL, it's good to have you.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be back on. And thanks for taking a look at this case.
No, listen, you tell me to take a look at it, I'll look at it. But why did you look at it?
Just when it felt like the internet was the loudest voice, a U.S. Congresswoman jumps into the mix. Anna Paulina Luna from Florida gets on live TV and straight up says Tory's trial was full of bias and political pressure. Then she drops a bomb. She got some kind of new proof coming in 36 hours that could flip the whole case. Now, pause. Think about that. A conservative politician stepping in to defend a Canadian rapper? Wild, but it shows how big this case got. It ain't just a hip-hop issue no more. It's political now. And you already know Megan wasn't having it. Her lawyer came out swinging, saying the trial was fair, the verdict was solid, and Tory got exactly what he deserved. Megan herself jumped online and said it plain. He shot me. Facts don't lie. So now it's full-on war. Tory's side saying the system got it wrong, Megan's side saying stop the cap, and everybody else just trying to keep up with the chaos. But all that online noise didn't compare to what happened next. Because Tory ain't just fighting the system anymore, he's fighting to stay alive.
From the spokesperson for that California Correctional Institute is that this attack occurred at around 7:20 this morning. They didn't give further information about exactly how Tory Lanez was stabbed or what the potential motivation could be or where he was stabbed, but they did say that staff immediately rendered medical aid. He was transported to a local hospital, and he is suffering from non-life-threatening injuries. However, several other media outlets, including the Los Angeles Times, are reporting that this was another inmate who used a shank to stab him several times.
Yo, this part gets dark. Not long after the pardon talk picked up steam, Tory got stabbed 14 times. Dude had collapsed lungs and had to be put on a freaking breathing machine. This wasn't no little fight. This was straight up life or death. Now, here's where it gets sketchy. The stabbing happened right before that new game-changing evidence was supposed to drop, and Twitter went full detective mode. Some folks started saying this wasn't random. Like, was someone trying to keep Tory quiet? Whispers started floating that maybe Rock Nation or somebody with power wanted to shut this whole thing down before it blew up. Now, we ain't saying that's fact, but the timing, way too convenient. Tory's lawyers came out and said the same thing. He's not safe inside. And with all this new stuff about his case being shady, they're calling for him to be released immediately while they sort it out. Meanwhile, the internet's split. Some say this is all part of a bigger setup. Others say he's just getting what he deserves. But here's the thing. This wasn't the only twist. Because while the world was focused on the attack, a whole new storyline started unraveling around someone who was there that night.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had where she stated she had the gun. She fired it 3 times. Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun.
All right, let's talk about Kelsey Harris, Megan's ex-bestie. She was right there the night everything popped off, and now she's smack in the middle of the drama again. Some leaked audio came out of a witness telling cops that the shots came from a woman, not Tory. And who was the only other woman there? Yep, Kelsey. Now remember, Kelsey already pled the 5th in court. That means she refused to answer questions that could make her look guilty. Shady, right? But it don't stop there. Kelsey's own bodyguard supposedly came forward and said Kelsey confessed to pulling the trigger, like straight up admitted it. There's even audio describing the whole thing as some wild cat fight in the car. Girls kicking, screaming, scratching, and Tory just sitting in the back seat, not getting involved. People online started saying, hold up, if Tory wasn't shooting and someone else confessed, why is he in jail? Now, the court ain't said nothing official yet. But that audio and those rumors, they lit a fire under the whole case. And just when you thought it couldn't get more confusing, Tory drops one more bomb that makes everyone rethink the DNA evidence.
And the reason why I took a particular interest in it is because of the fact that they actually had evidence that they presented to me in my office that actually disproved the conviction. So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine. And also too, as you said, 0.01% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance, Megan.
So Tory calls in from prison and drops this wild statement. My DNA was 100% excluded from the gun. Not inconclusive, not unclear, excluded. Now that's a big deal. In court, they said it was inconclusive, but Tory's team says that was a lie. They say the lab results show his DNA wasn't even there. On top of that, a group called Unite the People came out with even more claims. They said Kelsey's bodyguard, yeah, same dude, overheard Kelsey saying she pulled the trigger. Like twice now, this man has said it. Forensics TikTok is going wild over this. They're like, yo, how did a man with no DNA on the gun end up convicted? People are looking at that trial like, did the court ignore this? Or was something deeper going on? And this is when it really starts to feel like Tory might have been set up. Like maybe he took the fall for someone else. Or maybe the system was more interested in someone losing than finding the truth. But now, it ain't just fans asking questions. Tory's dad pulls up and points fingers at someone powerful.
Lanez, so what happens? So he goes away, recently stabbed 14 times in prison. Many say it was a hit, okay? Because new evidence is about to come out. All right, a little conspiratorial, but he was definitely stabbed. Lanez supporters believe that the media doesn't care because Megan Thee Stallion is represented by Jay-Z's Rock Nation.
I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Tall and Alex Bart.
They met on Saturday before. They
They met with our witness. And then the man came back.
Yo, outside the courthouse, Tory's dad shows up mad as hell. He grabs a mic and starts going off, calling out Jay-Z, Rock Nation, Megan, even Desiree Perez. Says the whole system is rigged and Tory got played because he wouldn't sign with Rock Nation. People start digging and find out, yeah, Rock Nation did try to sign Tory back in the day, and he turned it down. Since then, it's been tension. Now, folks on Twitter saying Jay-Z might have pulled some strings behind the scenes. Like, if Tory was independent and still winning, that's a threat to the system. And remember, Megan's signed to Rock Nation. So now, people connecting dots. Was this all a setup to protect her brand and crush Tory's? Of course, nobody's proven any of that, but the theory's out there and it's spreading fast. It's looking less like a personal beef and more like a power struggle. And the next move might come from the top of the food chain. Now here's the crazy part. Folks are saying Tory might actually get a presidential pardon. Yeah, that kind of pardon, signed by the governor or maybe even by Trump. If that happens, it don't just set him free, it tells the world the justice system got it wrong. That would blow this case wide open. Supporters say it's the only way to fix what they see as a broken trial. Megan's side says it would be a slap in the face to survivors everywhere. In politics, it's messy. Gavin Newsom's name got thrown into the mix. Even Trump was mentioned in some circles. Like, is this where hip hop and politics really collide? Tory's team is pushing hard, saying the case was shady from the jump. And Jay-Z, Megan, they're probably watching close, because if this pardon happens, it could wreck everything they built around this story. The truth, nobody knows which way this will go, but one thing's for sure, the pressure is on. So here we are, Tory stabbed, Kelsey's under the microscope, Megan's holding the line, and the people at the top, they're moving in silence. If Tory gets that pardon, it's a game changer. Not just for him, but for the whole industry, for the justice system, for how we look at power, fame, and who really controls the truth. So what do y'all think? Is Tory a victim? Is this a cover-up? Or is this just the wildest twist in hip-hop history? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Take care, y'all.